Today is going to be a great day. I am Nikki G, your host, and welcome to the Lone Doctrine, the food for thought exploration station, and your place in making today better than yesterday. Over the past few months, we've been talking about goal setting, staying motivated, and productivity, all of which will keep you moving forward. But as we explore all the food for thought the world has to offer, it's not only about making today better than yesterday, as I always say, but also about being our best self. This month, we're going to explore topics which instill just that. How do we be our best self? And for today, I'd like to talk about how we become better listeners. Listening is a skill. Hearing is innate. When we're able to become good listeners, we become more patient, tolerant, broaden our perspective, resolve conflicts, build trust, inspire people. You'll be more appreciated, and surprisingly, some of the best conversationalists are the ones listening, not speaking. Some of the best responses I've had with others is where I didn't say much at all. I listened. In today's world, we're almost taught to one-up or to always prove our point. But sometimes silence speaks volumes. Giving someone the time, the respect, and genuinely listening to what they have to say, side note, whether you agree or not with what they might be saying, creates an environment of trust. And in turn, that trust, they'll become more open to what you have to say. Listening is an essential part of a good conversation, but it's even more important in creating a fulfilling life. There's an old proverb that says, to listen well is a powerful a means of influence as to talk well, and is as essential to all true conversations. Let's face it, my hand is raised. There are times where we get pleasure about talking about ourselves, some more than others. But there is a balance in speaking and listening. I'm sure you've encountered someone who only talks about themselves and has a good way in not letting most others involved speak. It's a look at me kind of conversation. I wish I could say that listening is a two-way street, but unfortunately, a lot of us have forgotten how to really listen, or we were never taught in the first place. You might be doing things as like interrupting others, finishing people's sentences with your own opinion, and sitting as if you are at the start of a racetrack ready to release your own thoughts and opinions. When we're truly listening, we're content to listen to the entire thought rather than waiting anxiously for our chance to respond. Here's a little snippet from a book called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. We often treat communication as if it were a race. It's almost like our goal is to have no time gaps between the conclusion of the sentence of the person we are speaking with and the beginning of our own. If you think about it, you'll notice that it takes an enormous amount of energy and is very stressful to be sitting at the edge of your seat trying to guess what the person in front of you or on the telephone is going to say so that you can fire back your response. But as you wait for the people you are communicating with to finish, as you simply listen more intently to what's being said, you'll notice that that pressure you feel is off. It may seem as if just being content to listen only benefits the person talking, but it's quite the opposite. It benefits you greatly becoming your best self. You stop being in competition and creating a less productive environment, whereas if both people are listening and you aren't constantly competing for your time, you end up with much more meaningful, constructive, and productive conversations. Another great way to build your listening skills is to tune into all the great books that provide so much knowledge in order to live this one and only life to its fullest. Books are an amazing way to make today better than yesterday. Now, you might be thinking, who has time to read? As a Lone Doctrine listener, you can get a free trial to Audibles. Audibles through Amazon is in part our sponsor and provides thousands of books at the tip of your finger. You can access so much food for thought through your computer, tablet, and even your smartphone. Now, truth be told, Audibles is awesome. I'm always on the go. It's always with me, and it constantly creates an environment where I can keep learning, thriving, and most importantly, keep my mind on the right track. I can listen on a walk, in the car, exercising, even traveling. I highly recommend checking it out. Just go to lonedoctrine.com, and in the resource section, you can sign up for a free trial. It's super easy, and you can cancel at any time, and it's a very, very dependable company. And the great thing is when you do sign up, you're not only adding this ultimate resource to your betterment, but you're also helping the Lone Doctrine stay on air. So visit lonedoctrine.com and in the resource section, make your day better than yesterday. Hearsay. The difference between hearing and listening is attention. It's a purposeful behavior and one we all can be constantly working to improve upon for ourselves and others. My hand is raised, and I find myself only speaking, sometimes only hearing, and I take a breath. Of course, the ideal is to have a reciprocal relationship where all can be heard, but we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, to focus, to listen. I went out and explored, as I usually do, and found some interesting food for thought about listening. Did you know that most of us are preoccupied about 75% of the time when we should be listening? Most can only recall 50% of what's been said in a conversation. And sadly, studies have shown that the attention span of most humans is 8 seconds. 1 second less than a goldfish? You can be the change. Listening is a skill set that will greatly improve your life. So listen up and keep fighting the good fight.
It's a great